Good afternoon, everybody from Angel's Haven. This is my second attempt at making this video. I had technical issues, but this is the outside storage unit at Angel's Haven. I've taken the lock off. You can see it sitting there. And I'm about to open it to show you all what is in it and how it's configured, and to talk a little bit about storage issues in the tiny house. So I'm going to pause, and then I'm going to open it and come back on. Okay, so I am making this video by special request from Dr. Karr's mysterious husband. Maybe I should just say spouse, but I already let it out of the bag. Dr. Karr is a woman and her spouse happens to be a man. So he asked me to make a storage unit video, and here it is. So when you have a tiny house, storage can be an issue. And in particular, I wanted to have a back storage so I could store storage boxes. When I moved here, I moved everything that came inside the house, and then later things that came in my car, in plastic storage bins. The idea being that they would be waterproof, they'd be reusable, they were relatively inexpensive. So I didn't keep all of them. I kept about half of them, maybe 2/3. There are a couple of empty storage boxes under my house on the other side. I'll show them to you in a minute. So what we have back here, we have my 5-foot ladder, which, by the way, I bought at Walmart. Oh, there's the door, there's the door. That's my number one problem. The house is not level, and that door slams open. Normally, if I'm working in the storage unit, I take the ladder out, set it up, and use it to hold that door back. So I'm going to pause, I'm going to open the door again, and I'm going to figure out how I can temporarily prop it open. I'll be right back. Okay, if anybody drives past, they're going to think I'm crazy. But I have the door, I have the hiccups. This is really annoying, but you'll have to put up with it. I hiccup once in a while. So I got an evaporative cooler, and that's the box from it. We haven't really had a hot day yet. I don't want to get rid of the box until I know it works. I'll do a video about that at one point after I have a chance to really challenge it. So I'm using that box right now to hold the door open. And actually that enables me to show you, I think you can see, yes, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, I know, boxes under there which are empty and which I need to decide if I want to keep them or not, and that's part of what I'm going to do today. Now, just to talk a little bit about storage, if you're planning on going tiny, I moved, as I said, using plastic boxes. That was a conscious choice on my part. Some of the boxes you see in there I already had, the big blue ones on the bottom, the 3 at the left, and the 2 in the middle. I had those at home already. I tended to store things in my basement in Kansas City in big plastic tubs because in the mid-90s, when I first lived there, everything I had in the basement that was in boxes was lost in a flood. The neighborhood flooded when the rivers went up that year. I think it was 93. Somebody from Kansas City might correct me on that. But anyway, I started converting to plastic storage. The black lidded boxes also were things that I already had. The 2 teal colored boxes and the clear colored boxes I bought for purposes of the move. I've tried to keep things that were reasonably the same size. Obviously, in the case of that stack of white lidded boxes, those were all purchased at the same time and place. The teal colored one under the house has garden soil and garden plant food, that sort of thing in it. The ones on the other side of the house, which are empty, are old. I don't think I'm going to keep those. What I have in the storage unit are really only things that I want to keep. My suitcases, the ladder, of course. I started to say that's my 5-foot ladder I bought at Walmart in Fayetteville, Arkansas in maybe 1990. So that ladder and I have now been in 3 states together, and it's held up pretty well. The big extension cord, very useful. You can see that the electrical panel is in this cupboard. If I go solar, the batteries will also be in the back. Let me say when I go solar. And then part of this way this back is configured is intended to have space for storage of solar panels during transport. So obviously I would have to get rid of stuff if I needed to store solar panels. There are actually 3 suitcases and a trial bag in there. The tan suitcase has a small black suitcase in it, which matches the big black suitcase, but for reasons I don't understand, they don't fit, they don't nest, but the smaller of the 2 black ones fits in the beige one. Go figure. So you see a box that has orange bubble wrap visible. Those are some dishes that I have not unpacked. I do need to go through that box because there might be dishes that are sentimentally important to me. If they are not sentimentally important, I'm getting rid of them. So that box should go in the big blue tubs. I think there are sleeping bags, believe it or not. We used sleeping bags to pad things on the journey here, and I discovered in my house in Kansas City that I had 7 sleeping bags. I know Patrick had 1. The others were probably abandoned by various people who lived there at various times. I gave Patrick the best of the ones that were left behind, which was not his original one. I only have suspicions as to its origins. I don't really know. The others were used to wrap furniture and so forth when the house was moved here. One of those I think I gave away, I can't remember. But at any rate, there are 3 left, and they are in those big boxes. I haven't decided whether to keep them or not. They obviously would be useful when I move back. Or not move back, move like if I move to off-grid living in a year or 2. Or whenever I do. There's some other stuff. I think the top box with the black lids has stuff sitting in it. An air mattress, maybe something else, I can't remember. And then on the very top of the stack of clear boxes, you see my hat box, which has hats in it. So mostly what I want to do today is unpack stuff that's in the car, some of which needs to be stored back there, and see what else I need to do to either get rid of more things or better organize the storage cupboard, and that's what I plan to do today. I'm not going to keep the film rolling while I do this. What I plan to do is whatever I get done, after I get it done, I'll take a picture and put it in either the description to the video, if I'm technically able to do that, or a comment. I don't really have a video editing program. I'm just taking videos on my cell phone and then transferring them to YouTube, so I can't really splice together two videos. But there it is, the storage shed in my house. I'm also showing you that it's a beautiful day, and I'm going to shut up a minute and let you hear the birds, which of course stopped chirping. Oh, there they are. Okay, so I hope you've had your fill of my storage shed and the birds. See the beautiful blue sky? It's about 80 degrees, sunny, and that's a view of my tiny storage shed on my tiny house. And thank you for spending a moment of my tiny life with me. And I'll see you next time.